Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to this first video in a series on Victorian sewing. In this video I'll be showing you how I'm making an 1970s jacket using an original pattern. As a base for this project I'll be using the undergarments I made for the Foundations Review competition this year, which I will be showing over here. I made the corset using a corset pattern by Aranea black, which I'll be linked down below, and the other two garments, the split drawers and the chemise, were made using original patterns from this book. This is an 1997's La Mode Illustrée, which is a predecessor of our fashion and lifestyle magazines. I actually found this at a vintage and antique market a few years ago, and a few months ago I found some of the patterns that go with it, so you can imagine that made me very happy. Now, because this book is very fragile and old, like it is falling apart, whenever I will reference a picture that is in the book, I will take pictures of it beforehand and insert them in my videos, so I don't have to handle this book any more than I should, so I can enjoy it as long as possible. Now, as the name of the book suggests, it is written completely in French, and so are the patterns. So in order to be able to use this, I had to translate it all using Google Translate and the few words of French I still know from school. And after translating, I had to find modern equivalents to some of the materials that were mentioned in it. As you may know, things have changed a little bit since 1897. With this book, I made the split drawers and the chemise, using the original patterns that go with it. And then I combined a combination of modern and historical sewing techniques to make these garments come alive. I've made them mostly by hand, only sewing like the major seams with my sewing machine, but since I love trying out new things and hand sewing was one thing that I usually try to steer clear of, it was a good practice for me. And that's why it's very good to mention that my garments are never completely 100% historically accurate. The reason for this is I always like to use a combination of modern and historical sewing techniques to kind of fit what I need, or based on the time frame or the materials that I have. So I'd like to call it historically inspired. Now, on to this new project. I saw the fashion plate and I found a pattern to go with this fashion plate. It is a jacket from 1897, and as you can see, it has a full gathered sleeve. Its waist length has this crazy collar that I still have to kind of play around with to figure out how it's supposed to look like, and it closes at the neckline with a hook and eye. And as you can see, it also has some sort of embroidery which looks like soutache, which is a cord embroidery where a cord is sewn directly onto the fabric. I am still trying to figure out whether I'm going to do that or not, but first I'm going to make the jacket, see how it looks like, and decide from that moment on, because you can always add trimmings later. So lucky for me, the pattern was very close to my size, so I didn't really have to change a lot in order to make it fit me, which saved me a lot of time. Only problem was that the lady it was designed for was a lot taller than I am, so I had to make the pattern shorter to get it to fit me at the waist and not have it like a full-length jacket, because I have a short torso. So after making some minor adjustments to the pattern, I made a mock-up, and I think it looked pretty good at first. I will show you some pictures here and here, which is the front and the back. And on one side you can see the original pattern, and then on the other side you can see some of the adjustments I made. One thing that is good to know is the undergarments that I'm going to be using for the end jacket were made after I made the first mock-up. So when I make another mock-up, I'm going to have to fit it over my new corset and chemise and see how it fits that way, because it can make a big difference how it fits around the bust area and around the waist. So next order of business is making another mock-up using this muslin. Let me show you guys. It is a nice unbleached muslin. It is a cheap alternative for mock-up fabrics. You can also just use remnants in your closet, in your fabric stash, or old bed sheets, whatever you feel like, because I love recycling. But yeah, for this project I'll be using this because it is very easy to make notes on it, and that makes it easier to transfer those notes to your pattern. So I will be sewing this up and then show you guys what it looks like. Well, my mock-up is ready for a fitting. As you can see, I've only put in one sleeve, and the reason for this is I like to be able to change the sleeve if it's not quite to my liking yet, and then I can put it in on the other side and actually compare the two. So what I need to do now is put on my chemise and my corset so I have the proper base to try this on and show you guys what it looks like. So these are my undergarments. As you can see, I'm wearing my corset and my chemise and my frilly split drawers. I absolutely love this outfit. I put so much work into it and I wish I could wear them every single day because they're so comfortable. But before I get to trying on my mock-up, I want to tell you guys about the foundations reveal competition because all the entries went live this week. So do go check them out. I will link them down below, and I will also include a link for my entry so you can see where I got my inspiration from and what materials I use and techniques and all the other info that you may want to know. But now, next is trying on my mock-up, see what it looks like and when I'm wearing the proper undergarments. Okay, let's see what this looks like on. Well, first thing to do is I have to pin these fronts together where the hook and eye is going to be. This will help it keep in place when I'm pinning things. So I've already seen the back looks so much better. I actually like this like shape at the back. So I might have to do something with embroidery to kind of put more emphasis on that. And also, I need to redo the bust darts. As you can see, I have drawn them in here because these were the original darts, but for some reason they are way too much to the side, so I'm going to be pinning them in myself. I always like doing this because sometimes it's very hard to see how something's going to fit when it's put on an actual body, not just a flat pattern. Usually what I'll do is I'll pin them in and then neaten them up a bit afterwards and then try them on again just to make sure I've done it right. And copy it on the other side so I can see how it looks like when it's done on both sides. Okay, so that already fits nicer with the curve. I might have to do this point a bit less pointy. Okay, so that's my new dart. Now next thing to check is this crazy collar on here. Let's see. For some reason I can't get it to stay up, like especially the back keeps flopping down. If anyone has ever made a collar like this, do let me know, because it does not seem to like me. So what I have noticed is it kind of seems like there's too much space in it, so I'm going to try and pin out a bit like this, and then definitely stays up a bit better. Now also, it is good to see that my hair, I'm wearing it very low, so I may just have to put up my hair a bit more if I want this collar to keep it in shape. And one thing I still need to do is I need to check the, oh, here goes my pin. I always find my pins everywhere. But the sleeve is still doing something weird. It is hanging forward too much, so the sleeve kind of needs to be rotated, so that way it's a bit more in balance. So to fix that, I'm going to draw a new point, so I know I need to move it. See here, this is going to be to that line, so it kind of moves it up a bit. Well, I think this looks pretty good right now. You know, after I've made these small adjustments, the fit is pretty good if I say so myself, and I'm quite happy with it. And definitely this sleeve makes me want to be dramatic all day. So I may just have to make a few more of these jackets just because I love this sleeve so much. Oh well, the fact that this fits so well right now and I'm very happy with the way the mock-up looks means that I'm ready to start sewing in the actual fabrics, and I will show you which ones those are very soon. But first, time for coffee. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and do like and subscribe if you want to know when my next video is coming up. I will be starting the jacket in the actual fabric, so don't forget to join me for that. And do comment down below if you have any questions for me. Thank you so much, and see you next time.